New Orleans, 1900, a city pulsing with life, a melting pot of cultures. The air itself vibrated with music. From every doorway, every street corner, a symphony of sound poured out. European waltzes mingled with French quadrilles, operatic arias drifted from grand theaters, Caribbean rhythms echoed through courtyards, and deep within the heart of the city, the drums of Africa still beat strong. This was New Orleans, a city where music wasn't just entertainment, it was the very breath of life. A city where a new sound was about to be born, the sound of jazz. Every Sunday, something magical happened in New Orleans. The city, known for its vibrant culture and rich history, would come alive in a unique way. On a patch of land known as Congo Square, a transformation took place. This wasn't just any ordinary gathering, it was a profound cultural event that resonated deeply with the community. Slaves, forbidden to play their drums on other days, gathered to celebrate their heritage. They brought with them the rhythms and melodies of their African homelands, creating a powerful connection to their roots. The air filled with the thunder of drums, the haunting melodies of banjos, and the soulful cries of voices raised in song. It was a symphony of sounds that told stories of pain, hope, and resilience. It was a joyous celebration of African traditions, a defiant expression of cultural identity. People danced, sang, and played music, creating a vibrant tapestry of sound and movement. But something else was happening too, a blending, a fusion. The music of Congo Square was not static, it was dynamic and ever-evolving. As musicians from different backgrounds came together, they began to improvise, to experiment, to create something entirely new. This was the birthplace of a new musical genre that would come to be known as jazz. Congo Square wasn't just a place for music, it was a crucible where cultures collided and new sounds were forged. It was here that the seeds of jazz were planted, nurtured by the diverse influences that converged in this unique space. Today, Congo Square stands as a testament to the power of cultural exchange and the enduring legacy of those early musicians. It remains a vibrant hub of creativity and a symbol of the rich musical heritage of New Orleans. From the heart of this vibrant musical landscape emerged a legend, Buddy Bolden. A cornet player with a powerful sound and a flamboyant style, Bolden captivated audiences with his music. His band, the Big Four, became the talk of the town. They played a blend of ragtime, blues, and brass band music, infusing it with their own unique energy and improvisation. Bolden's sound was raw, powerful, and unlike anything heard before. It was the sound of a city on the verge of change, the sound of a new era dawning, the sound of jazz was starting to emerge. Jazz wasn't born in a single moment, but evolved gradually, over time, through a series of small, yet significant, transformations. It was the result of countless musical conversations happening across New Orleans, in the streets, in the clubs, and in the homes of musicians. New Orleans was a melting pot of cultures and styles, a vibrant city where different musical traditions collided and blended. The music was a tapestry woven from the threads of African rhythms, European harmonies, and the raw emotion of the blues. African rhythms brought a sense of movement and groove, while European harmonies added structure and complexity. The blues, with its deep emotional expression, added a layer of soulfulness that resonated with many. Jazz was music that pulsed with life, full of improvisation and syncopation, where musicians could express themselves freely. It was music that swung, that had a rhythm that made you want to move, to dance, to feel alive. In the dance halls and clubs of New Orleans, people would gather to lose themselves in the rhythm, to forget their troubles and celebrate life. Jazz was more than just music. It was a way of life, a form of expression that spoke to the human experience. It spoke of joy and sorrow, of hope and struggle, capturing the essence of what it meant to be human. Jazz was the sound of the human spirit finding its voice, a voice that continues to resonate through the ages, inspiring generations of musicians and listeners alike. Section 5, Storyville, the heartbeat of jazz. In the heart of New Orleans lay Storyville, a red-light district where music thrived. This vibrant neighborhood was more than just a place. It was a cultural phenomenon that shaped the future of music. The streets of Storyville were alive with the sounds of pianos, trumpets, and clarinets, creating a symphony that echoed through the night. Saloons and dance halls lined the streets, and every night they were filled with the sounds of jazz. These establishments were the lifeblood of the community, offering a space where musicians could experiment and audiences could experience the magic of live music. The energy was palpable, and the music was infectious. Musicians like Jelly Roll Morton, Joe King Oliver, and many others found their voices in Storyville. They were pioneers pushing the boundaries of what music could be. Their innovative styles and techniques laid the groundwork for what would become a global phenomenon. And a young Louis Armstrong honed their skills in the clubs of Storyville. Armstrong, who would later become one of the most influential figures in jazz, started his journey here. The clubs of Storyville were his training ground, where he learned to master his craft and develop his unique sound. They played for hours on end, improvising, competing, and pushing the boundaries of this new music. The spirit of competition drove them to new heights, and the camaraderie among musicians fostered a sense of community and shared purpose. Each night was a new opportunity to create something extraordinary. Storyville was a melting pot of talent, a place where musicians from different backgrounds and styles could come together and learn from one another. This diversity was one of the key factors that made the music of Storyville so unique and influential, a proving ground for aspiring musicians. It was here that many young artists got their start, honing their skills and developing their own voices. The competitive atmosphere pushed them to be their best, and the supportive community helped them grow. It was the heart of the jazz scene, a place where the music could be heard every night of the week. The constant presence of live music created an environment where creativity could flourish, and the sounds of jazz became the soundtrack of the neighborhood. A place where the music could be heard every night of the week. Storyville was more than just a district. It was a symbol of the power of music to bring people together, to inspire and to transform. Its legacy lives on in the music we hear today, a testament to the enduring spirit of jazz. Section 6. Satchmo and the World. From the streets of New Orleans, a young trumpet player named Louis Armstrong emerged, destined to become a global icon. With his infectious smile and his unparalleled talent, Armstrong brought jazz to the world. His virtuosic improvisations and his charismatic stage presence captivated audiences. He became the ambassador of jazz, spreading its joy and its soul to every corner of the globe. Armstrong's influence on music was immeasurable. He helped to popularize jazz, transforming it from a local phenomenon into an international sensation. Section 7. Jazz Lives On. Decades passed, the world changed, but the spirit of jazz lived on in New Orleans. In the French Quarter, in Treme, in clubs and bars across the city, jazz continued to thrive. From traditional jazz bands to modern interpretations, the music continued to evolve, to innovate, to reflect the ever-changing city around it. New generations of musicians emerged, carrying the torch, keeping the flame of jazz burning bright. Section 8. A legacy of innovation. Jazz wasn't just a genre of music, it was a philosophy, a way of life. It was about improvisation, about taking risks, about pushing the boundaries of what was possible. Jazz was about dialogue, about listening and responding, about creating something new in the moment. It was a celebration of individuality, of creativity, of the human spirit. And that spirit lived on not just in New Orleans but in cities and towns across the world. Section 9. New Orleans, the soul of jazz. Today, New Orleans remains the soul of jazz. The city vibrates with the rhythm of the music, from the street performers on Royal Street to the legendary clubs of Frenchman Street. It's a city where you can still feel the presence of the legends, hear the echoes of their music in the air. It's a city where jazz isn't just a memory, it's a living, breathing art form, constantly evolving, always inspiring. New Orleans, the birthplace of jazz, forever linked to the music that captured the world's imagination. If you enjoyed this journey through the heart of jazz, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating stories.